Hello everyone, welcome you all. So in this video we are going to see the basic of HVAC. It is an interesting video and I hope at the end of this video you will learn something new from this video. Okay, so now what is the lecture aim of our video is HVAC fundamentals. Means we are going to see the definition and concept of each and every HVAC, and we are going to see the concept of ventilation, which is very important for HVAC engineer. So if you are HVAC engineer, you have to know what is positive pressure, negative pressure, supply air, return air. Okay, if you are working in high-rise building, so where how you provide the ventilation. If you are working in the hospitals, operation theater room, so what kind of ventilation you should provide. So we have to know the proper knowledge concept of ventilation. Okay, and the meaning of air conditioning. So now moving for fundamental, H stand for heating, V stand for ventilation, and AC air conditioning. So this is the abbreviation of HVAC, heating, ventilation and air conditioning. So now let us see each and every term. First we will see what is heating and where we will use this concept of heating. So heating is nothing but it is a process of increasing the temperature of a system, as we know. Means we will use the concept of heating to increase the temperature. Okay, so where we will use this heating process, it is designed for colder or chill climates, means where the temperature is below the comfort zone. For an example, if you are living in the society where the temperature is 5 degrees centigrade or below 10 degrees centigrade, okay, to make the room in comfort zone we have to provide the heat. Okay, for 25 to 22 to 25 degrees centigrade, now you are living in the temperature where 5 degrees centigrade. From 5 degrees centigrade to make 25 degrees centigrade, we have to provide heat. Okay, you have to increase the temperature. How you will increase the temperature? By providing the heat. So the concept is, heating concept is generally designed for colder or chilled climates. So generally this heating process comprises of boiler, heat pumps and furnace. As we are going provide heating, so we need to know this concept. We will use this boiler, heat pump, furnace. Okay, so now ventilation. So what is ventilation? It is a process at which some air enters a place or leaves a place. Means what? It is a play. For an consider, this is the window. Okay, so our houses, schools, colleges will have this window. Okay, so what does the window will do? It is allow the air to enter the room, and as well as it allow the air to leave the room. Okay, means this window is, this opening is allow the fresh air from the outside to enter the room, and it make this air from the room to leaves out. So this is known as ventilation. Ventilation, it means the air should enter the room or leave the room. Okay, so now ventilation are of two types. First is natural ventilation. Natural ventilation means without any devices, we will make the air to enter the room, and we make the air to leave the room. By naturally, it is known as natural ventilation. So natural ventilation can be seen in our houses, in schools, in colleges, where there is a window. If you open this window, the air from the outside will enter the room, and as well as it will leave the room. Okay, mechanical means we will use the we use the devices to supply the air inside the rooms. Okay, now for example, let us consider this high-rise building. Okay, there is no window in it. So how you provide the ventilation for this room, means how you supply this air this inside the room. Okay, so we'll use the dampers, air grills, which is situated in the false ceiling of every room. From there we will use to supply the air in these packed your high-rise buildings. Okay, this will discuss in our next upcoming videos, and we will design this dampers and air grills depending upon our TR and CFM. Okay, so try to understand this. Natural means we are providing naturally, and for mechanical means we have to use the devices. For it is mechanical ventilation is generally used in high-rise building, packed building we will use, where there is no windows, I mean there is no opening from outside. So and that situation we will use this mechanical ventilation. Okay, now consider this is a room. Okay, from the room we are removing 20% of air. So that air is known as return air. So what is return air? The amount of air which is removed from the room is known as return air. So try to understand this concept. We will use more return air, supply air, exhaust air, fresh air. So try to understand the return air means the amount of air which is removed from the room is known as return air. For in our case we are taking 20% of the air from the room is returned, means we are leaving the 20% air from this room. From this 20% we are exhausted, this 5% we are expelled out to the atmosphere, means we are this 5% air is known as exhaust air, means we are leaving this air to the atmosphere. Okay, from this 25 is expelled to the atmosphere, which is exhausted to the atmosphere. Then how many much remain? 15. Okay, from this 15, 5% is fresh air is added. Okay, 5% is fresh air is added to this 15%, and it became 20%, and this 20% is again supplied to the room. So the room, the air which is supplied to the room is known as supply air, and the air which is removed from the room is known as return air, and the amount of air which is expelled to out to the atmosphere is known as exhaust air, and the amount of air which is added to the in the supply duct or is known as fresh air. We are using fresh air means we are using the air from the outside. Okay, and here 5% exhaust we are expelling out to the atmosphere. So this is the return air, supply air concept. Okay, so now based on this ventilation, the pressure ventilation again types depending upon the types of pressures. So one is positive pressure. So what does positive pressure means? So let us, so what do you understand from this? From here the return is 20% and supply is 40%. So if the supply air is more than the return air, so that type of pressure is known as positive pressure. Okay, where the supply of air is more than the return air. Okay, is known as positive pressure, and where we use this positive pressure in hospital operating room. Okay, we will supply more and we take return is less. So try to understand where we will use the positive pressure, where supply is more, return is less. Okay, next is negative pressure. Negative pressure means it completely opposite of this. Now let's see this. Supply return is 30 and supply is 20. So now return is more than the supply. Okay, so this type of pressure is known as negative pressure, where the return is more and supply is less. So this type of pressure is known as negative pressure, and we will maintain negative pressure in kitchens and bathrooms. Okay, where we will supply return is more and supply is less. Okay, and third is natural. As you know, the natural means we will use naturally in and out. Here we will mechanical devices are connected, we will use the concept of mechanical here. Okay, supply and return. Now let's again ventilation. Positive pressure, where we will use the positive pressure, I told in the hospital operating room. As you know, there are germs are there. Okay, so and there you will use the air filter is known as HEPA filter, because there are a lot of germs will be available in the air. To purify the air, we will use the filter known as HEPA filters. Okay, this is about the ventilation. Now coming for the air conditioning. What is air conditioning? It is the process of decreasing the temperature. So it is completely opposite of heating. In heating, what we will use to do, we used to increase the temperature. In air conditioning, which we will use to decrease the temperature. Okay, we in India we will use the air conditioning because we have the temperature above 30 in the month or in the summer season, 30, 35. Okay, to make the temperature in the comfort zone in 20 to 25, what we will do, we will reduce the temperature. Okay, we will reduce the temperature. So the air conditioning, the first work of the air conditioning is to decrease the temperature. Okay, second, air distribution. Air distribution means what? For example, if you are provided an indoor unit and proper mass flow rate, flow of air should be equivalent in every direction of the room. So we have to see that also, air distribution. Okay, and third, we will use to control humidity, amount of water vapor inside. So there are three basic, there are many other also, but the basic work of air conditioning is to decrease the temperature and proper air distribution inside the room and control of humidity. As per the situation requirement, we will do the humidity. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you have learned something new here. Thank you.